All right. Break's over. My spring has braked. My spring has broke. We took a couple weeks off of the show, and that is done. And it is time to show again. Hello. I'm your friendly neighborhood Tom. And this is You Can't Do That on Salesforce. Hopefully, with some interesting background music. And if said background music is kind of annoying, please let me know. I'll make it quieter or make it stop altogether. I like having the background music in my ears because then I don't feel like I'm just completely talking to myself. What are we doing today? Batchflow part 5. Actually, that's 10. This 5. Part 5. Our last episode, which was a million years ago, we were doing something. Somewhere. There's a screen I can show you. Amongst many other screens that I'm just going to pretend like they're not there. Disappear, all of you. Hi. I really have a problem. I have a too many screen problem. Too many window problem. I only got one big screen. We're almost there. We're almost there. What's this stuff? I really need to stop putting things on my desktop. They just get all over the place. How's that? Doop. There we go. There we go. Welcome back to Batchflow. What is Batchflow? It's not in the README. Batchflow is the last batch, Apex batch you'll ever have to deploy, because then you can use Flow to manage all of your batchy related execution. And I think that's cool. So we've looked at, we built this thing on the stream. Stole it from another older project I was working on, formerly known as Mass Batch, I think. Yeah. We have a few moving parts. We have Batchflow itself. It's kind of the engine that does the work. This is what it looks like when you use it. So you sort of summon a new Batchflow. You tell it what you want it to do. Filter some fields, and then add some flows to it. So by itself, Batchflow will just go update some records, wump some records. But where it's interesting is you can add multiple flows to run in sequence after it. And they'll not after it, during it. So it'll take the records that you query for, pass them into each of these flows in and out, make changes to them as they go all the way through, and update when it's done. You can also chain batches together, or batch flows together. So if you got a couple of jobs, say in your Salesforce org, that you want to run nightly, but you need one to run first before the second one, you could create 2 batch flows for that and say, hey, process this first, and when that's done, process this next one. So you don't have to set up like 2 different scheduled jobs. This batch flow is schedulable, by the way, too. But you wouldn't have to set up 2 separate jobs and worry about like them racing each other or starting at different times, or having to, pick the magic time that you need them to run. So yeah, I had to create a new Scratch org, and I see I got one error here that maybe I was missing something, which is a bummer because we have to recreate that. But that's okay. Batchflow admin. Oh, that should be Batchflow config. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully that's the only thing that failed. Maybe we got everything else in here. There we go. How do we do? I forget. Is a push an all or nothing? Yes, it is all or nothing. All right, let's update that permission set group to ignore. I think this one. It's a good opportunity to do any housekeeping on the names of stuff, because I want Batchflow to be all lowercase. Join Tom as he changes the capital F to a lowercase f everywhere. I'm going to get rid of this translation because it's just more stuff to... I'll get it back. Not too worried about that. Actually, just get rid of the whole... rid of that whole folder. Those are our sample flows. We'll have to probably change these. Well, no, I can change these. It hasn't deployed yet. No content assets. We do have a Flexi page for our app. We have an app called Batchflow. Let's rename these. Oops. I think I was having some issues with logging last time we met. I feel like the answer is yes. No LWCs. Those are good. Good. I don't know why I have the account object in here. It's kind of weird. Oh, should we get the chat up? We should get the chat up. Where is the chat? Hang on a second. Where'd the chat go? Cool. Doop. All right. Batchflow flow, Batchflow log. think that looks, well, hang on, got a couple other ones in here. So subtle, so picky, but I gotta have it. I gotta have it look right. Some of these matter less. Honestly, some of these probably don't matter at all, but that's all right. Let's deploy these objects out. I'm gonna get rid of that account folder. I have no idea what that's in here for. Yeah. Love to get rid of this too. I don't know why some of this stuff sneaks in. But we had a tab for config. Let's deploy that. We don't have any triggers, do we? Let's delete that folder. No profiles. Housekeeping. Yeesh, we don't want any of this either. Did I exclude that? No. I think that's right. Definitely not doing any Aura stuff. Okay, let's keep pushing. See how these permission sets work out. Oh, we need the app first. We need the utility bar first. That's FlexiPage. Probably to a point where we can just push all this, but I'll give it a shot again. It's really bright in here, isn't it? Oop, mismatch, can't create. Permission sets are invalid. That's interesting. Maybe we just have to recreate that, I'm not sure. File name mismatch. What are you talking about? Oh, wait. Do we have a... Well, that's silly, isn't it? File name mismatch. I think I tried to ignore defaults before, right? And it didn't work. It's a new one for me. I was expecting this to just be pretty benign. That worked that time. Okay, so we're getting there. So this should fail. Oops. Same error. Okay. Let's do one other push. I feel like we're super close. There's just something in that permission set group, which maybe I'll just trash it and try to run it, try to just build it again. Why is it so bright in here? Holy cow. What do we need? This? No, this? Not rotate. Ah, there we go. Whoosh. Just the permission set group. The following names are invalid. All right, fine. Just get rid of you. It's weird because I changed these names too along to match these, unless the... Is there something different in here? No. I think I fixed all the case of those. All right, we'll just trash it. I'm going to keep a copy of it. Oop. Okay. Closing windows. I've definitely, yeah, I've used a... I know exactly... What did I do? Where did it go? There we go. Oops. All right. We're back. Let's keep a copy of that, and we'll just trash this. We'll build it back again. And let's push. This has got to be it. This is it. I feel it. Did I have some stuff in here? Oh, I had an account. Cool. All right. Now let's go put that permission set group back together. Oh, actually, wait. Can I just do this now? Can I create a folder? Yes, let's do this. Just metadata, right? Should let me do this. What did we call that? Batchflow admin. Yes. Okay, cool. Did I update this to... Probably didn't. To set the... Apply the right project settings? No. I'm going to do that now. Hang on a second. I'm so tired of having to go in and, you know, check all the magic boxes for... for configuring an org. It's not that one. I got it somewhere. Looking behind the scenes. Might not be on this computer. Might be on my work machine. All right. Well, let's we'll do that real quick. Anyway. Thank you, internal server error. We want this checked. Profile, now that we use them, permission set component. Okay. Let's add this permission set to my user. We're not going to be able to see anything. Oh, wait, except this never works, right? Yeah, never works. Got to go to the user. Okay. Should see Batchflow now. Okay. I think we're back from whence we came. I want to make this page a little more robust. I think doing this with a flow might be a little nicer, because then I can, we can, well, we're going to create a config, and then we have to add flows to the config. So that's, this is a little crummy. My first batch flow. We're going to run an update. Going to be very descriptive. Let's do it in batch sizes of. I don't think 200 is safe. Let's go with 10. This is something you'd have to test out. Make sure that you can handle a certain volume, tune it accordingly. We should have our object in here. Oh, there it is. That makes sense to move. Let's do account. That's why I had the account stuff in here. That's right, because I was blamming in a bunch of records. So this would be the cron value if you were scheduling this. Maybe that's something we need to tell it if we're going to schedule it or not. Let's do, we're going to run this on accounts that were created today, which we have none of. Okay, so that's my batch flow config. So I have a batch flow ready to go, and then I have to give it flows that will actually run. And these would be the names of our flows. In here somewhere. Let's just do the name. Well, we could do all three. We'll do the name, description, and website. The processing mode basically says, would you, of the batch that you're running, so I'm running these in batches of 10, would you like Batchflow to send them in one at a time to your respective flows, or would you like to send all of the records in? Again, an efficiency question, maybe a question of, do you need to have all the records in your flow to process, compare something? I don't think the answer to that would be yes to the latter, but from an efficiency perspective, just like the batch would run at 10 records at a time, the way we have it set up, the flow would run with 10 records at a time coming in. Again, limits, all that kind of stuff to consider. So I'm just going to run it as single. It knows the config that we're running it in. So that's cool. We have some page layout stuff to do here for sure. The next one, we'll just keep going and do the description, or do the website. I think the description list expects a, you have to configure the flows that you want to work with Batchflow so that they have the right input parameters. If you don't, it won't run right. So the description list expects you to run with a list, and that probably maybe that should be the names of those two fields. It should be maybe record and collection to kind of keep with the flow terminology. Let's configure one of these. So we can run these and we can sequence these. Yeah, I think I'm just going to say single record and, well, I don't know, single and all. We'll stick with it for now. All right, so we got our batch. I would love to edit this page. Upgrade this. I'm a big fan of trying to push everything into the... If we got sweet new features on the platform, we should use them. So let's lay this out with the upgraded dynamic form stuff. Let's add a section here. Object type and filter. Scheduling. I'm going to fix that schedule cron to hopefully be a little more user-friendly too. Logging. Let's see, the action, the discussion. Settings. And description. That looks nice, doesn't it? I think that looks nice. We can move this whole thing out, can't we? Go to details and... Actually, wait, can I? Oh, I gotta pull these up. Yep. I'm gonna get rid of these. I feel... Oh, wait. Guess I could put this in an accordion if I wanted to be clever. All right, let's move our related. Can we do a single related list here? Because what do we have? We have flows and logs. I'm gonna do a single just so I can make those dynamic also. Go up. Oh, it's not a page layout. Wait, because we're not. This is flows. All right, there we go. Upgrade. Let's just call this flows. Make it a little more intuitive. Not intuitive, just simpler. Flows, and then let's add logs. Yep. Here we go. This probably doesn't need to be quite that wide. I'm a big fan of the 50-50, 2 equal regions. Let's do that. That looks nice. Do we want to accordion these? Can I put that in there? Ugh, I can, but that looks terrible. Can you... Well, hold on. Can you... You can put components in there, but then it's kind of a mess again. Oh, I can't put fields in there. I have to put... Well, that defeats the purpose, because these can expand and collapse. It would be nice maybe to do it with... if I don't put in a label, does it just hide it? No. All right, we will not do the accordion. We will just make it look like this. We'll activate you. We'll make you the app default of Batchflow. There we go. How does this look now? I think it looks nice. Oh, that's so nice. Except we're missing some fields here. Let's... Nope, I don't want to edit the object. I want to edit the page. Oops, what's going on here? Let's see, for the flows, what should we show? We'll show the name. Let's show the sequence. Oops. No. How about, let's show the flow name. And the processing mode. The logs, man, I don't even remember what we have on this. I'll come back to that. I forget where we ended up with logging since the last episode. There, that looks nice. We can come here. Do I need the action bar? Yeah, because we would make records from here. That makes sense. I don't know if we care about changing the owner. And then logs. I also don't think we're going to change owner. Again, we'll come back to that. We want to edit. We want to delete, I think, yeah. We're not going to create new from there. Anything else we want? Nah, that's good. That looks nice. There we go. All right, cool. So I can go here and get kind of a heads up display. Here's my Batchflow config. How's it running? What object is it running with? We'll do a little more with scheduling and logging, and then the actual stuff, the actual flows that are being called and the sequence they're being called in, the mode that they're running in. Okay. Let's see if it works. Now that we've got everything back together, let's create some... create a new file in here. Call it create accounts. Oh wait, not selecting. Let's go with 500, I guess. Count. All right. Yay. That's interesting. Do I not have... Why do I not have any... Do we not have an all? That's what that thing was in my... It must have been. I must have messed up the... Was it in my recycle bin? Yes, that's exactly what it was. There was a way on the Mac to restore a folder back from whence it came. I guess not. We'll just drag it, maybe. Not sure how we ended up with that. But there we are. There's 500 accounts without website. I must, because I overrode the all. That's why it was included. Oh, excuse me. But it's weird that it excluded it. It didn't create it when I... Anyway, there's 500 records, and now what? It'd be great to have a button out here that ran this, right? Here we go. We got one called Run Batchflow. I thought we were working on that. Yeah, so we could select one. These are the choices. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, we could run that. And we could also pass in a record ID to kind of bypass all that. So we could, let's put a decision in here and say, has record. If we don't have a record, we'll show the selector. Actually, I guess we could do that right on the page, right? We could just, may not even need that. Just use conditional display here. Oh wait, that's the other. That's the one we already have. This is a. We show this if it's null, and then we'll show. Want to run question mark? Push the button. Very professional. This will display when... I hope this works. I was hoping to just test for the record being null. Let's see. We will select nothing, and we get nothing. Okay. Thinking. Hey, Ruthie. Yes, hypothetically, it should be streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. I messed up YouTube, or I'm sorry, I messed up LinkedIn this morning because I didn't set up the event correctly. So it probably looks like there's two, or some LinkedIn audio event going on, which is definitely not going on right now. Yep. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the same thing, only different. Oh, it's quieter on YouTube, on LinkedIn? That's interesting. That's weird. I figured the audio would be the same across all of them. All right, where was I? I'm trying to... This is... I'm sure this is yelling at me because the... I can do... Let's do this. We'll create a... Yeah, I was thinking Decision would do the same thing. I was just going to try to use the component visibility to consolidate it, have a few less components or elements in the flow. I think what I have to do here is make another variable. I'm going to make a formula. Let's see. If I make a formula that says let's see. Have record? Have record input? Yeah. Has record input. We'll do our null check here. Can I just test for record here? Let's find out. Nope. Let's try that now. Okay, we come back over here. Let's see. We want to show this if has record input equals true. Oops. Then we want to show this if has record input equals false. All right, let's see. I'm not going to pick one. Okay, it's still, did I do that backwards? I'm glad it's showing something now, but we should, let's see, if record is blank, not is null record ID, not is blank. There we go. All right, so if that comes in blank, we can pick a batch flow. If it comes in, oops, gotta run it again, get the inputs. If it comes in with a batch flow, there we go. All right, cool. So now we can use the same flow to pick a batch flow to run, or specifically run a batch flow from a record. At least that's how we hope it should work. Let's activate this. And we'll go back over to our page layout here. Put a flow on the page. Pass the fields, very important. Wait, I click save. There we go. Want to run my first batch flow? Push the button. Could we take this off of there? That's just the header, right? We can hide the header. There we go. All right, so I don't have much of a finish page on this flow. I think it's just going to probably cycle right back to the other one. Let's open up our Apex jobs. We should see this batch flow run, and we should... What are we doing in those other flows? Okay, we just changed the name of all of these to this as an account. So that's what we're doing there. And then I think in the website one that we're running after that, we are just setting the website to... Oh, I see. We have a little bit of logic in there. Okay. All right, well, let's try this. Now this, okay, when all is said and done, what should be happening here is we are, oh wait, we don't want, yeah, we don't want that. We want the, let's make another formula and call it, and we'll do probably my same formula as I had before. If not is blank, then we'll use a record ID. Otherwise, we'll use that other thing, the selected, the value from the pick list. That should do it. I get rid. Oh, you know what? I'll get rid of this too because we don't need that anymore. There. That should be neat and tidy. Yeah, I think we need a completed. All right, that's running. cruising through. So we should, all of our accounts now should have those values set. Yes. All right, cool. So it did run. And it did what we asked it to do. Okay, so now we have these configs. We can make a batch flow and we can set it up, pick the flows we want to run. We can run it from here. We have to come back to logging. Scheduling. Let's go back and look at the code for scheduling. Let's see. Let's look at our I want to look at our invocable too. So there's not much to that. Our logging has this like source concept, so I think that's what's getting passed here. But batchflow.run, this batchflow ID, batchflow.run, the ID, set it up. And init is where all the work happens. Where are you, init? Oh, init, yeah. So init executes the batch. Schedule, I think in init is where we just have to either have to schedule or we have to. No, we don't want to do it in init because init would be too late. I think it would be. Let's see. If we do it in run, create it, we create the source. Figure out our logging. That's right. That was the problem last time. Logging was not happy. But if this was scheduled, let's think about how that would even work. Because I don't actually want it to run. I actually want a way to probably trigger off of that, right? So this might be more like Batchflow run invocable, and then maybe there's also a Batchflow schedule invocable. Because if I want to schedule, I need to pass in just the job name and the cron rules. So having a scheduled checkbox probably makes sense on our config object. Now we put that on our page layout, but it's not going to show up here. we go. So the theory would be we check this box and now it is that could schedule it. I think we have to make sure that both of these are validation rule. I think if you check schedule, you got to have a cron in there. The other thing we could do is when we say want to run, we could say yes, but run this later, because that's something that we can, we can schedule it in a little while. So if we use the same run, I load up the config. Where does this get called? I feel like I'm looking right at it. Load config. Yep. Okay, so we create it here. We load the config. We get the... So this is where we init. This is where we don't want to do that right off the bat. We want to check if... Well, first we need to add our scheduled. Is scheduled in here. I have access to config, right? So if this dot config dot is scheduled, do one thing. Otherwise, do this. We would call this dot schedule. I think we can use the config name for this. So it's a either or, right? We're not going to let the batch run if schedule is if it's on a schedule, and we probably need to have that logic in our well, I mean, there's no reason why we can't run it one off, but maybe we want our flow to say, yo, heads up, like you also have this scheduled, are you sure you want to run it right now? Let me grab a cron. Let me ask ChatGPT to give me a cron. Gotta do this in my other window here because I got too many accounts I'm logged into. Too many Google profiles. So write a cron expression to run all right, this is this should run every hour. I think. ChatGPT seems to think so. That could be turned into something flow-like that makes it much easier to interpret how to write that out. That might be a nice little just like standalone subflow screen component, something. because I don't ever know how this works. I need something to tell me. I have to go look up the documentation or ask ChatGPT to do it, who may have done it right. Let's take a look. I don't even know if that's right. Apex scheduled cron. I don't know if it's right. There's some examples. This runs every day at 1 p.m. See, I don't think that's right. I'm going to set it up to run at 12. Which one is the next one? The minute condition? Oh, wait, no. It's seconds, minutes, hours, right? Seconds, minutes, hours. Okay. That's a great question, Reese. I think it runs in the time zone of the user that initializes it. I think. It's a very good question. We'll find out. Let's see what time it thinks it's going to run it when I kick this off. So this would be every day at 12:30 or at 1 o'clock. How about we try this every day at 12:10, which is in 6 minutes. So hopefully we'll get this all working in the next 6 minutes, and then all right, so when it saves, can I still use the invocable for this? I feel like I can. I'm just passing it through. Right? It just needs to know the batch flow, the ID of the batch flow that we're running. So I could do a record triggered flow. We'll do that on our batch flow config. And updated or deleted. That's interesting. Salesforce Inspector runs UTC, but the reports run in the executing user's time zone. Do you have to, when you log into, well, it's native Salesforce Inspector, right? So that's interesting. You'd think that would run as the user who is asking for it. Huh. That is interesting. All right, so we only want this to run when it's scheduled true and scheduled cron is not null. And we're only going to do that when it matches those conditions, because we don't want this if I make a change, I don't want this running every single time. Schedule batch flow. And then we need to bring in our... wait, we want to do this as a... We want to do it as an after, because we need to run our action. Do I have to put this in a collection? Or will it just accept it? I feel like it's not going to like that. Let's find out. Let's find out if it's smart enough to... All right, so if I go back here and let's uncheck this box. Nothing should happen. Do I have my Apex job still running or set up? And then I check this. Okay, something should have happened, because did I activate that flow? I did. I activated the dispatcher. So now, what's that called? Scheduled jobs. Okay, didn't do that. It did not set up our scheduled job for us. I guess I should probably watch the debugs for what it's stepping through there. Let's see if our invocable even gets called. So we'll do this again. Okay, some stuff happened. Nothing too exciting. I might have to turn up the debug levels here. I don't know. Oh, interesting. It's completely ignoring what I told it to, and is running the whole thing again. So it is running... Where'd you go? It is running these. Yep. Right, it's cranking those up. That's not what we want. Let's find out why. All right, when this... Too many flow tabs. When Batchflow is updated or created or updated, scheduled is true. Cron job is not null. Maybe this does need to be a collection. Oh, wait. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Well, all right, I'm going to make this change, and then I should have actually looked at the logs. All right, so we'll add... Let's add our incoming records ID to... Huh? What did I do wrong? Wait a second. I can't add... Oh, wait, I got this back. I always do this backwards. There. All right, and then we'll pass this the Batchflow IDs. No, we won't, because it just wants one. Okay, well, I stand corrected. I thought we were going to pass it a list, but it's not a list of lists, so it's just the... Right, it's just the record ID. Okay, so that wasn't the issue at all. So let's get rid of all this junk. All right, so I'm just going to run it again and try to catch the first log in the list. See if we can find out what's going on. So nothing should happen in that case. And nothing did. All right, so let's Click the magic schedule box again. Come back. We're just going to let it go. I'm going to chase the log file. I want that first one, that batch apex one. I think it's done. Nope, not done. Not done. Not done. Not done. Nope. Are you done? I think it's done. Okay, what's in here? Let's see. What would we have run? It would have gone into batchflow.run. Oh, we do have a couple of those. Okay, so let's put some debug. Let's turn this on. Well, that's curious. Oh, you know what? Because it's not the batch. It's further up here. I think it's this one. Okay, so it's stepping in there. We probably need a little more debug mojo so we know what's going on with this. Let's output the config. Hopefully that tells us what's up. That's neat. Okay, let's retrieve this file, I guess. Was this happening before? There was some goofy, something goofy. All right, oh, I lost my stuff because it's gone. I really hope we don't. Oh, come on. File name mismatched with class name, but it's not. Where is this referenced? Let's go find it somewhere in this. I think it's in one of these crazy setting folders here. It's not in there. It's not in there. It's not in there. Where are you? What are you called in the org? You are, see, that's what you're called. You are called Batchflow. I have an object called Batchflow, but then I also have a class in here called Batchflow, but file name mismatch with class name does not seem like something in the file itself. Let's make an update in here, and then maybe I'll try to pull it down. This should not happen, but let's see what we can do. System, make the same update I did before. So I didn't get that error now, right? No. Let's see, what else do we want to know about here? Oh, well, so it failed because I don't think my logic update ever deployed. Which is a bummer because I need to do that over here now. Here. this is probably the problem. And then does schedule return? Can't believe we have to do this. This is really silly. I'll do a little Googling on that in a second, but schedule returns the scheduled job ID. So we might as well else. There. Let's retrieve it again. And maybe just for extra grins, should we just do a poll? Get this stupid thing back. Okay, that all makes sense. Did we get the code we expected back? Yes, this is what we wanted. Okay. Run it again. I really think it was just because the... Okay, so this is not even going to run now. We got to go with 12... Let's go with 1221. Not scheduled. Yes, scheduled. Clean this up. Maybe what I'll end up doing is just creating a new file called Batchflow and then put it in that file, I guess. I don't know. All right, save you. Yep. Oh, yeah. No. I don't know why this is happening. I'm laughing. I'm crying on the inside. Yeah, we'll do everything in VS Code except for this one file, which we have to manage in Developer Console. Also, I think my crown is probably come and gone again. That's okay. Let's do 1222. Okay. Something happened. Let's go look at our scheduled jobs. It's going to run in 2 minutes. 1 minute. I put the crazy number behind that because sometimes they, in the very, very, very unlikely chance that you have two scheduled jobs with what would otherwise be the same name, I just guarantee that they're unique. It looks super ugly, but it probably doesn't even need to be that long. It's just a, what is it, a random long, I think. Maybe it's even better to just like use the date and time when it was initialized. It looks like it's running it on my time, Reese. Which is technically somebody else's UTC, but it did hold tight and keep my scheduled run. Now, whether or not it's actually going to execute, queued up. That's right. It's 5 o'clock UTC somewhere. Or 5 o'clock. Yeah, we can celebrate. We can celebrate the end of the day in Ireland right now, I imagine. This is gonna stay queued for a little while, I guess. Interesting. In the meantime, let's try something silly. I don't see how it's going to let me do this. Nope, I do not want to overwrite that. I am surprised that this is still queued. And I got no logs, so let's see. Does it give us any indication over here that it's running? No. Did I miss anything? Is there anything here that... Because if we schedule, it just retains the... Where are you? Schedule. Probably should have had it write out the scheduled job ID in the event that we needed to abort it here. Because this just doesn't seem right. It's just hanging out in queued land. I wouldn't expect it to do that for this long. We've been watching the grass grow for 2 or 3 minutes now. Let me remember how to get that Apex async job. Is that the one I want? Or async Apex job? Here. Oh wait, no. Is it like is cron? Is it scheduled cron? Cron job. Which one is it? Is it these? Is this the one I have to abort, or is it the cron trigger that I have to abort? Waiting. What are you waiting for? Try a couple and see which one it likes. Probably have to maybe both. All right, did that abort the job? Yep, okay, that was aborted. And now let's, I guess I can just delete this, right? I'm curious though, does that abort the other one? Okay, that's gone now. So what did we miss? Still have to edit that file in here. Super fun. Wait, clear log panel. All right, why did not the stuff run? Why does not my face move on the internet anymore? Usually because I have to unplug and replug something. This is a fun feature. Hey. I actually was been moving the whole time. I was just standing so incredibly still that couldn't see me move. It's not true. Okay, why did you not work? I'm gonna debug the from the dev console. I'm gonna debug the scheduled job ID. So system.schedule, and then let's debug the context here. I don't know if we've been getting this far. Let's go up to init. That's when the job gets executed. Or yeah. All right, so we have a little bit of debugging in here, so we should be able to trap something. I'm guessing in this one. Okay, so we got our job. $131, was that our, what was that? Let me check in the dev console because I can't see the other one. Oh, that's just right. This write log stuff is bogus right now. It's not doing anything. Are we, let's see, are we debugging anything in start? Yes, we have a lot of stuff in start. The fact that it's not getting here is weird, right? Seems weird. Oh, wait. Well, it ain't gonna do nothing. Or did I? I didn't change my scheduled cron. That's kind of weird too, isn't it? I said to have it run every day at 12:22. That time has come and gone. All right. Let's say 12, whatever, 12:45. But it's not scheduled. Let's change that. We'll change it to 12:35. Probably want to update the logic of our flow, so I don't have to keep checking and unchecking the box here. Okay, 12:35, and it is 12:34. So it's scheduled for 12:35. Do we have any? We have a queued job over here, which is weird. Those are aborted. Okay, this is queued up because it's going to run. So maybe that's what happened on the other side. Did it queue up waiting? So I think right now it's just waiting for the time to go by to execute. I haven't seen this before. This is... I'm trying to think what I'm missing here. What if we add... I just want to know that I'm in the init call here, because I don't feel like that's even getting hit. Nothing going on over here. This is all just waiting and hoping. That's still queued. This has no indication that it's actually started either. Strange. What's the symptom here? It's a batch is not starting from scheduled. Can't imagine we don't have a non-performant query. I was hoping for some magic silver bullet, but Next scheduled run. This very. Did I refresh that? Hmm. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I have a feeling. So when I submit the cron, it submits it for whatever time I tell it. But does that matter? I was just thinking, is it my time zone? That doesn't. I wouldn't think it'd be my time zone. Where is my time zone? So now if I go back over here. Aha, okay. Oh, wow, that's interesting. It did do it against my time zone, but my time zone was incorrect. So I was trying to set it for 12:30 when my time zone was Pacific. Now that I've changed my time zone to Eastern, well, now it says the scheduled run is at 3:35. So I think this is a time zone situation. It is, and it's the time zone of the running user. So that does make sense. All right, we're too late for 12:30. We missed the 12:35 train. Let's go 42. Now let's see what this does. This should be correct now, and this should actually run. Because it's just, it queues it, and it's just kind of hanging out until it's actually time. Next run, 12:42. That matches my time zone. And then if I go back to Apex jobs. So it's queued up. Do I still have my dev console open? Because this should start blamming with... well, in T-minus 2 minutes, this will start throwing some... hopefully start doing the batch. I don't think it knows about the batch size yet because it hasn't actually started, so it has nothing to evaluate against. So, what should we talk about? You know what we're going to do? I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to grab some food, and I'm going to leave this up so that you can all hopefully, be delighted by the fact that, actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I want y'all to know that I'm not here for a minute, but I will be back in a minute, and I'll turn this off for a minute, and I'll turn this off for a minute, and you can enjoy the sweet background music, and hopefully we'll be back and be pleasantly surprised at our job running. Stay tuned. Don't you love it when you walk away from your computer and you come back to find your batch job executed successfully? Pretty sure that's what Uma Thurman said in Pulp Fiction. Hey, it worked. Yay. Screens, where are you? Nope. Yep. Yahoo. Look at all of those wonderful batch jobs running. Oh, and we got this here too. Excuse me. So it kicked off our... Do we have any debugs in here? Just the context. And then in our batch, the batch apex kicking up. Yes, we've got our stuff in here. Yep, and it remembered our... It brought back all the objects, obviously, so it could run correctly. Let's look at this. It should have run 51 of them, and it did. Yes. Okay. Started and ended at 12:42, and is it scheduled to run again? Yes. Okay, see you again tomorrow. Except we're not going to keep running that, because that would be silly. Yay. Okay, so from our Batchflow config, we can now turn scheduling on and off, set the cron. We could run it. We could still run it ad hoc if we want to. How about a run later? Can we do that? How would we do that? Maybe on the flow? I'm just clicking around now. I have no idea what I'm doing. Run Batchflow. Need to change the name of this too. I'm just going to make it a new flow. Do I want to run it like that? I don't know. I don't know. We need to put a less empowered user into this org, because, well, do we want to put this in the hands of less empowered users, I guess is the question. Less empowered users are not going to write their own batch flows, but they may be written by an admin and bestowed upon a non-admin person. Assuming they can't sneak around and inadvertently or intentionally run a flow that they should not. That may be interesting. But I say that because if it was a non-admin user, we probably would need this flow to run in system context to have more access than the non-admin user would have to kick off a batch in particular. I don't know the answer to that. Anywho. I should do this, right? I should write these to sections, not to components, so we can move things around a little bit. Where did it go? Has record equals true. Then we can take the condition off of this one. And I'll put in another section. I'm going to be good. I'm going to use sections. Probably didn't need to, but equals false. We don't have to worry about it in here. Okay. Regardless of what we run, we can provide the option to run this immediately or run this later. Which would be a number, right? Run this batch flow put some help on there. Zero equals that's good enough, right? We can do that regardless of whether we're just pushing the button or we select a batch flow. The next question is, where do we put that? Like, what do we do with that? We could, it's a little hinky, but we could have a field on the batch flow config that collects the run in, run in X minutes. And if that is set, we would have it so basically when, let's say done here. So I could save it here. And then when I go into the batch flow, I would have it at my disposal because we requery for this is basically what gets called by the invocable. We would already have that value at this point and could work with it. Then probably clear it. The only issue with that would be if somehow two people ran the same batch flow at basically the same time and there was some, sequence of events. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think I'm going to go with the cheese solution and the other option would be to put it on that log that gets written, but I don't think we're not in that mode right now. Sorry, checking up on the what's going on at work. All right, let's do the cheese mode here. I'm going to add a number field that's called run later minutes. And if somebody wants it to run in 90 trillion millennia, or whatever that number is. Be my guest. You can run it way later than... What is 18? How big is that? What is 1 followed by 18 zeros? Guess it would be 17, right? Thousand, 100,000. Wait, this would be millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, right? Or is it quintillion? I think it's quadrillion, right? One. How did we get off in this? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 16. It's in the 100 quadrillions. 17 zeros. Yeah, I could have just looked there. How about that? So yeah, if you want to run it, how long is... I guess it could go up to 99, right? So it could go almost up to 100 trillion, 100 quadrillion. How many... How far away is 100 quadrillion minutes? All right, you asked for it. I think I got it. Yeah. Okay. It's too big for programming in JavaScript. Convert minutes to years. Cool. Let's use this one. Whew, that's a long time. 190 billion years. Wow. There's this video on YouTube. It was a timeline of the universe or something. Super profound. It talks about like the long lifespan of the universe and, you know, what's going to happen. I wouldn't want to be around. Obviously, our planet's going to get sucked into the sun, and then there won't be a sun, and then someday there won't be a galaxy, and someday there won't be nothing but black holes, and then there'll be nothing but, what do they call it? What's the stuff that comes out of Hawking radiation? Eventually, there just won't be anything left. I mean, no energy. Whew. But that's like 19 trillion years, which is also unfathomable. Anyway, back to our Salesforce field. Bringing it back home here. Did I make that field? No, I got lost in my existential crisis of, you know, being a human with a finite lifespan. Run later minutes. We will... I don't want to put this on the page layout, I don't think. This is like a system field nobody needs to know about. Okay, we got that. So now back in Flowland... I also want to go over here and like get rid of that. Well, I can't get rid of that duplicate now because it's related to some stuff. I'll have to run Batchflow. It's Batchflow. It's all one word. Batchflow. I'll get rid of that other one later. Did I refresh this? I need to refresh this so I can see that field. Okay, so we're gonna let's just update that record. Set run later minutes. Okay. So we save that. We run the batch flow. Then we have that value available to us. So back over, well, not here, because I'm never going to be able to edit that file again. Apparently, it's cursed. Where were we? We need to query that field out. What was it? Run later minutes. Okay. Okay. We have that field. So then we have, don't we have a run schedule once? Yeah. Schedule once. So in our logic of here, it doesn't have to be scheduled. Else if this dot config dot run. Oh, well, run later minutes is greater than 0. Same thing, just schedule once, right? And then I actually want to update. I want to update Batchflow, the Batchflow config. Set that value to 0 after we do this, and just like get rid of that as soon as we can. So we should still have, yeah, this dot config dot run later minutes. Okay, so now we should be able to, let's see, what did I miss here? Oh, yeah, passing the wrong value. Right, run later minutes. Run later minutes or run minutes later? I should, can't talk, can't I? Maybe we'll fix that. Oh, decimal, right? Okay. Is there not a value of for integer? This is why I love working in the dev console so much. Okay, interesting. So this schedulable class has jobs pending or in progress. That's fine. That's not gonna when we deploy this. That's not gonna be. Although, if we ever did have to, um, so we can't save it because there's pending jobs. Isn't there a way around that? I think you can allow it in the org. Where is that? Is it here? No code coverage. So sad. Am I the only person that has no idea what dynamic Apex classes are? What's that error? Yeah, this happens when you try to save. Right. Right. Is able to work around this problem and make changes. We don't want to. I don't want to delete it. I thought there was another way around this. Deployment settings. Always allow deployments and corresponding. Yes. Thank you. I mean, we accept the fact that we could blow stuff up, right? May cause Apex jobs to fail. Yes. Correct. Is that something I can set in my my SFDX? It's not a feature, it's a setting, right? Deployment settings, maybe. So I put this somewhere, right? Settings, deployment settings. So for next time, let's be good. I assume case sensitivity. Here, we'll help our future selves and not have to worry about that. Does skip, right? Whether deployments from this org skip validations true or not. If this is false, oh, I want it set to false. Set this to false when I'm very confused now. Set this to false when an Apex class in the package you're deploying is used by an Apex batch job that could run during the deployment. The deployment of a package containing an Apex class that is used by a running batch job fails without validation. I think we want to. I'm going to go with true because I checked the box and it said true. Checking a box is usually true, so we'll go with that. Doesn't matter this time. We'll get it on the next one. That said, I should be able to save that now. No? Wait. Did I actually check the box? Oh, I didn't save. No, I did save. Maybe that only works if you don't have anything running. Maybe it has to go out, and then when you turn on new we could try that. Let's see. Okay. So that's off now. Let's fire this back up. I would probably want to do like a is changed on this because again, I got to do this every time, and I don't really even care when it runs. So I just want to see if I can now save after. Oh, I got to get rid of that related list down there. Yeah. Okay. Now. Should be scheduled again. Yes. No, still hates me. Well, that setting did not do the trick. Metadata API-based deployment is able to work around this problem and make changes to the class. So maybe what it's saying is if I did save this with the VS Code instead of the dev console, that maybe it would work. See if anybody else has a... This is working when I do a deploy with the CLI. If you try the same step in the dev console, you'll also see the same behavior since the dev console also uses the tooling API. That's it. If VS Code worked. Bleh. Anyway. Why doesn't that work? Oh, this I want to look that up too. Let's see. SFDX change Apex class file. Change Apex class name. Not really even renaming it. I'm just changing the case. And I don't see anywhere that that is. Is it in my meta file? No. No, it's not. Is there anything weird in here? No. Oof. Yeah, these are not the droids we're looking for, or at least I. Is there anything in here? All right, hold on. Wait, let's look in here. Go up. Maybe this is what's tripping it up. Well, I have no idea. I definitely got like 2 Apex classes in here, so that's probably easier to search for. I bet you this is it. I bet you it just doesn't like these. Let's try it. There's a bunch of other stuff in here that it does seem to care about, or doesn't seem to care about the changes. All right, well, let's retrieve it again. See if that did it. Make a very drastic change. Oh, wait. That would be crazy if this is all it was. Ah! File name mismatch. Ah! What is the data in... It's weird that it didn't find those. Oh, that's kind of strange. Isn't there an object that you can check for revision info? Stop that. Oh, let's see. Salesforce org tracking. I feel like there's a object that stores some info about what you're trying to change and track. This is from a Lassie. Oh, wait, what is this? Source member. Source member. Oops. Even these are right. This is crazy. I do not understand what's going on. Man. Like, I'm tempted to just create, like, you know, I don't want to create duplicates of everything. That's not a ton of fun. Ah. What if we do this? What if we reset the tracking? This could be horrible. Modify all your local source tracking files. I'm willing to do it. Okay, what are you doing here? I'm gonna send it. Well, we'll see. Hey, it worked. Amazing. I knew it was going to work. I was totally confident that that wasn't going to cause any problems. All right. Hey, we can work from VS Code now. Groovy. And in doing so, we can save changes to that file. So that makes me happy. Try it again. No, no, no! What? Oh, you're killing me. What does clear do? I want to see. I want more details about this. If you mess things up, you may use reset first, then clear at the last resort to start again. But have your changes committed to your source tracking first before you do that. I mean, I think that's what we have. Where's this originating from? No, it's coming from this is what's crazy. It still thinks it's named batch capital flow, and it definitely is not. Except, wait a second, I might be stupid, and maybe we need to. Maybe it's these. Maybe it's the constructors. Let me find all instances of batch. No, I care about case matters. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe this is exactly the problem. I seriously doubt it, but it's not even case sensitive, you know? That's the what does SFDX reset do? I don't love that they've done this. Let's find it in the deprecated world. Force source tracking. Force source tracking. Clear. Deletes or overwrites all existing source tracking files used with extreme caution. Clears all source. Well, what's the difference? What did reset do? Resets local and remote source tracking so that the CLI no longer registers differences between your local files and those in the org. When you next run status, the CLI returns no results, even though conflicts might exist. The CLI then resumes with tracking your new source changes as usual. Okay. And then what's clear? Let's run clear. I mean, whatever. Then if I run status, will it... So great, let's pull. Okay, that was successful. Vexed. I'm thoroughly vexed. All right. Did I search for this in the first place? I've tried like every nuclear option you can find here. Yep. Created a class a few days later. Needs to be capitalized, and here we go. If you deploy to org from the left-hand side of the file structure instead of the editor, really? All right. Delete the local, then restart Visual Studio Code, then retrieve the file, the source from org again. Okay. So at least it's a thing. And apparently to whoever's credit here, I have to April Shank on January 14th, 2022. Deploy from the left side. There you have it, folks. That's it. But it's a thing, so be careful with your file names, because if you change them, even before I deployed, that's what was interesting. I changed all the names, and yeah, it still didn't like that. So, all right, cool. We're back in business anyway, and we don't have to work out of the dev console anymore. How about that? How about that? Yes, close without saving. Okay, let's try our minutes later thing. All right, run later minutes. Yes. I'm going to activate this, and then I have to make a few changes. Let's go over to our Batchflow config and change this page. Okay. Let's just set it for 10, see what happens. That's curious. Oh, no, it's not. It's, wait. Wait. That should be, yeah. That should be the first condition that we check for, not the second. Here, no. Where is it? Here. This should be the first condition. Also, we should do a check here to make sure it really is scheduled, because this is just going to keep running. Every time it's scheduled, or every time it saves, it's going to schedule itself. That's not what we want either. So what shall we do? We shall we need an indicator that this has been scheduled already. Is it fair to say we don't want to schedule the same batch flow multiple times? Like, you should just use the cron, right? That seems reasonable. So if we set the, all right, we need a scheduled job ID on the config too. We're only going to store that when we first schedule the batch. Sure, let's put it on the page. Scheduled is probably the wrong name for that also. Okay, so now when we only when we do scheduling, right? This.config.scheduled.id equals that. Update that. I still think we're going to need to, because when we abort, there's nothing we can really do with that. It just happens. This probably has to check that it's not already scheduled. But would that matter? Would it actually know? Well, yeah, it'll know by way of the batch, the batch ID that we have. So we could. All right, so we need to query out the. I'd like to see what value we actually store because I can never keep these objects straight. Oh, let's also, because I'm certain that this isn't going to save. So I'm not even going to bother. Yeah. I'd rather just go over here and say deploy. Have it actually work. Yeah. So let's turn off the autosave. Push or deploy on save? No. I wonder if this is part of the problem too, which I excuse me. I like the source tracking, I think, but oh, okay. Drink time. Okay, let's leave it as that. We'll just save and then I'll deploy from the side. But anyway, which of these is the actual value we want? So that's gone. Because I think it's that ID. So we want to check cron job detail. Right? Let's find out. Okay. I'm looking for my record. So this should schedule. And I should have, excuse me, the scheduled job. I don't have the scheduled job ID though. Why is that? That's weird. Or maybe I do and it's just cached. Nope. It didn't save. Why is that? Is our excuse me, is our run later minutes kicking in? That could be. I'm going to put that field out here too, just so we can keep an eye on it. T minus 10 minutes, huh? 13 minutes. Run later minutes. Speaking of minutes, go down. Okay. Yeah, did we save it? No, run later minutes is also not set. So okay, so poke it with a stick. That's 0. I don't really care about that. Currently not scheduled. Let's make sure it's not scheduled. Not scheduled. Let's schedule. There it is. Yes. No. We don't want it from there. We want it from, well, actually we do want it. We do want it from there. No. What am I aborting when it's time to do that? Is it the 08E or the 08A? It's the 08E. And is that what we have? Excuse me. We have the 08E. So we want to search for cron trigger where ID equals, yeah, okay. So yeah, let's make sure this isn't already running. Suppose we could, I mean, we could do it another direction, right? And just put the, use the name of the, or turn the name of the scheduled job to include the ID of this config in it. We could switch over to that. I think for these purposes, we can validate here. So this is a, what is this? This is a cron trigger, right? Are we querying that out? All right, so where did you go? I have trouble navigating this file. Where am I? Oh my goodness, where am I? Here. All right, so let's get all the cron triggers. There should be one where the ID equals whatever we've got. We can do that out here, right? Yeah, so if cron triggers is dot size is 0, right? So this is the scenario where, yeah, we've still remembered it. Well, I'm going to check for blank, right? And it's going to say 0. Or I'm going to check for something that doesn't exist anymore, and then I can hop back in here and schedule again. I think it's fair to say we don't want the same batch flow scheduled multiple times. Because, like, why would you do that, right? You can put it on a schedule and then just run it according to the schedule. Unless you needed to do something weird, and then, I mean, I guess we could revisit that, but, or you just create another batch flow, right? Just clone it if you really needed a different one. Because I think from a Salesforce org perspective, I think you can run the same. We're about to run the same class with multiple batch flows. So, in fact, I'm going to make a copy of this, schedule one up, schedule up another one to make sure we're not hosed here. I don't think we are. When I ran this before in a previous version, that wasn't a problem. Okay, this should not. One could argue that if we uncheck that box, we should abort the. That probably kind of saves the day anyway, right? Yeah. We would just need like an abort job. Right? Probably would have to wrap those. Summer 24 is coming up. Very exciting. That's aborting a abort scheduled. All right, we want to abort a scheduled job. Is it the same system.abort? Yeah, it works for both. So we could just make a abort job invocable. Probably would make sense. I feel very tall right now. Match that. We can do that in 3 minutes, right? Let's do this. Oh, darn it. Ah, running out of time. Hurry. Abort. A bot. Abort. Oh my goodness. Abort job invocable. You can tell we're getting to the end of the show because I can't type. Although I generally can't type anyway. So there you go. Abort job invocable. Steal shamelessly from our other invocable. See, aborts scheduled and batch jobs. Call this job IDs. Pretty simple. Probably going to be a whole lot of fun to test. I guess we could just return what we sent in, right? Two minutes. Fastest code slinger in the whatevers. I say a lot of dumb stuff on this show, don't I? And nobody's around to hear it. If Tom says a dumb thing and no one's around to hear it, doesn't make a sound. I was just going to collect all of my random clips from the episodes from now on, and yeah, see what y'all think. It's 2:00. Show's over. We're not going to get to invoke our abort job invocable, sadly, but we are going to do a quick pull from source to make sure we got everything, so we're not sad again. We're getting there. We're getting there. We got... We got a little console for our batch flows. How is it going to run? If it's scheduled, how does it run? Related flows. I want this to become part of the configuration of this thing. So we could maybe make a data table here, and then if you said, add a row or something like that, you could go pick whichever one you want. Handle the sequencing for you. That would be cool. Yeah. Neato. And that's it. I think I have to go do work now. Probably late for a meeting or something. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Saw some people in the chat. Chatted with some people. Be back next week. Hope the background music wasn't annoying. I'm Tom. And you can't do that. I wish my finger would pop out. You can't do that on Salesforce. But actually,